SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
I can't hear anything. I can't hear anything.
Hello. I think we're having that network issue again. The glitch as a result of the heat. Gentlemen, you're welcome. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
We can hear you. We can see you.
George, Raji.
I can hear you. I can see you.
Yeah, you could go ahead. Say something. Let me know if you can hear me.
I can
George?
hear you. I can see you.
I can hear you. I
be
can see
freezing.
you. Mhm.
There's a lag.
Yes. My frame is frozen from this end anyway.
Yes.
Okay. If you can hear me, you're welcome, George. You're welcome, Raji.
Good morning.
Great
Good morning.
coordinators from Canada, from Lagos. Yes. Okay. Yes, you're both welcome. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Go ahead with the discussion. If you can hear, see me, go ahead.
Chief,
George.
could you use
Yes.
a different
We're having.
device? Sorry for
We're
this
having.
now. But let's go ahead with the discussion, George. Let's go ahead with. Well, good morning, viewers. This is. I want to thank you for joining us this morning. My name is George, all the way from Canada. We apologize for the technical difficulties that we are having so far, but yeah, we are here now. So I want to welcome every one of you viewers from around the world as you are logging into Wednesday Global Africa news. So today we're going to be discussing quite a few number of things, and we want to welcome Olayinka Raji is with us all the way from Lagos. Olayinka Raji, welcome.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here again today.
And also we have our brother from UK, Femi Oke, all the way from England.
Hello, George. And
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Lovely to be here. Thank you.
Yes, it's good to have you with us. Whenever you're here, the heat comes on, and I love it.
Someone's got two feeds open. That's why you're getting the feedback.
Yeah, we're still getting the feedback. I just don't want to wait until that
or they've got the mic open as well.
Yeah, we need to shut down one of the mics. But anyway, recently we just got the news. Our president actually is in St. Lucia, and then the president was given the highest honor, the Knight Commander of Order of St. Lucia. They call it the KCOSSL. So let's hear from our moderators. I'd like to encourage you, what do you think about this highest honor given to our beloved president, Ahmed Tinubu, the Asiwaju of Nigeria?
I think it's a great honor to him and to the country. A good recognition of the worth of Nigeria in African affairs. It's a very welcome award.
Beautiful. So we understand that there was a little bit of controversy over his visit in St. Lucia, but there are one side is saying, why is he going to St. Lucia to spend 9 days? And others are, advocating the president is the commander-in-chief, but not only that, he is the most important individual in Nigeria to advertise Nigeria to the world, to take our, all the opportunities and the privileges that we have in business world, to take it to collaborate with other countries. So tell me something, Femi, okay, what do you think about this particular visit and the honor that was conferred on our president?
Yeah, it's good news for Nigeria and for Africa, because we need more closer collaboration between the Caribbean and Africa. And I think this is a great honor, and I think it's a good thing. And we need to increase the ties educationally, culturally, business-wise, and tourism-wise. So what you're seeing is a greater cooperation between the Caribbean countries and especially in West Africa. If you're in Ghana, for example, you automatically can become a Ghanaian citizen from the Caribbean or America. I think maybe because of the size of our population in Nigeria, we're not doing that, but I think we should do that as well. I think we should accept those people. Like, for example, with DNA now, DNA testing, you can actually prove conclusively your links to Nigeria. I think if you've got that, then by birth, by law, according to our constitution, anyone linked by birth, whether it's they can automatically become Nigerian citizens. So we should look into that. And I think it's a good thing that the president announced scholarships for people of the Caribbean to come to Nigeria. I think that's a good thing. The population in places like St. Lucia and stuff are quite small, so it's negligible. It's not gonna the number of people that are gonna want to come to Nigeria, but that will increase the ties between the Caribbean and Africa, and I think it's a good thing.
Oh, well, thank you so very much. Right now, Tinubu will now carry the designation, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, KCOLC, His Honorable. So I think he makes our country proud, and I think it's a good move. And we see the Caribbean ties, like you just said, the move reflects St. Lucia's growing diplomatic and economic outreach to African nations. And this is something that we have been fighting for. And not only are we fighting for it, they have been fighting against us. They don't want us to collaborate because they know that we have the power economically to collaborate together and to make Africa the sixth region to be as powerful as can be. But that's something that they do not want. So we want to thank, we want to extend our congratulations to our president. Next in line is the INEC. I can hear something.
I can hear something.
Okay, thank you. So the INEC and 2027 election, key highlights. Nigeria heads to another general election in less than 24 months. INEC faces scrutiny after a flawed 2023 election, and many legal challenges are there. So now they have actually brought out the timetable for the election for 2027. What do you guys think about that? All the way from Nigeria. Olayinka Raji, can you give us a little bit of your thoughts over this situation?
So I'm sorry, I have not been able to. have not yet perused whatever INEC is bringing out. I'm just hearing, so I may not be able to be in a position to comment on it at this moment. Okay. I intend to look into it.
Okay. Well, hey, ever ready. Femi, okay. Have you browsed through the new INEC post about the 2027 election? and the timetable
Not
that
to
they
be honest,
brought out?
I haven't. I actually, maybe you may spread more light on that. I haven't also, but what I do know is that there are a lot of campaigns for rejigging the electoral act. I think that's possible. I think there's a lot of organisations that are cooperating with INEC towards developing a new, stronger electoral act. But my view is all this talk about INEC is the fraud master and all that stuff. I've never agreed with that principle in the first place. For me, the problem is the politician. It's not the INEC, the so-called independent arbiter. They are not really the problem. And Professor Jega is not going to be at all the 36 states. He's not going to be at all the wards. He's not going to be at all the collating centers to cause mayhem. So at the end of the day, we have to take it on its face value. And when we look at the 2027 election as a whole, this was the first election where the three parties each won 12 states. Obi won 12 states. Atiku won 12 states. Tinubu won 12 states. Tinubu lost in Lagos. He lost in the Federal Capital Territory. He lost the sitting president, that is President Buhari, lost in his state, in Katsina. They lost in Kano. They lost in Kebbi. So and they even lost in Osun. So when you now say that this was the most rigged election, this is just fallacy. It's a nonsense, and it's not based on any realistic situation. The coalition or the opposition lost because they split their votes. They split their votes between Peter Obi, Atiku, and Kwankwaso. 2027 is coming up now. If they do the same, we're just going to have a repeat of 2023. The so-called coalition, which I'm sure Massive Mike Godwin is going to tell us about. His party seems to be the new bride.
The new baby on the block.
The new baby. We'll see what happens. My only concern is I hope they don't implode like the Labour Party, because I heard that they're already stepping down their chairmanship for David Mark. That doesn't going to all go well. Then on top of that, I want to know whether Matt Godwin was going to be seeking appointment, or is he going to be running for elections? If you so, you should say so now. Let us know, so we can support
anyway,
you. So when you get posts, don't forget us.
I think you might be the ambassador, the High Commissioner for Italy. So that's what he's
yes.
Looking
first
for.
of all, thank you guys for still standing, regardless of those glitches we've heard. I don't know. I think the heat is hitting on Italy very hard. But Raji, it's surprising that you didn't get the electoral updates.
Updates.
There are new updates now. It's been on since Monday. Yes. It has dates for each of the elections. Anambra election comes soon. November the 8th. Then followed by I think that will be Ekiti. Ekiti will be coming also February 21, and Osun will follow, and some other states also will follow. Anyway, it's an update that's been on since Monday. INEC has that update, and like you guys were saying, as we are here in the newsroom, right there in Abuja, Wuse, somewhere in Wuse, the coalition with about 6 politicians is going on. And my party, ADC, heads that coalition. We have the former Senator David Mark as the new chairman of the party. And you all know Ogbeni, what's his name? Rauf.
Aregbesola.
Yes, Aregbesola. He's the new secretary, the ADC secretary. So some wonderful development going on. We hope they will advance prosperity in our country. That's what matters the most. Thank you, George.
What we have seen actually is the former INEC commissioner, Festus Okoye and the analyst Jide Ojo
Mm-hmm.
examine INEC's preparedness. They're talking about how
Mm-hmm.
prepared they are this time. And they're talking about the credible election depends on political parties, media scrutiny, and voters' behavior. INEC's success also hinges on its independence, use of technology, and public trust. Expresses stress multi-stakeholders' responsibility for credible 2027 elections. So what we're seeing here is the INEC is getting ready, and also it is how to be able to ensure that a lot of people who might, because after the 2023 election, a lot of people kind of, people lost hope. In short, they felt like their mandate was taken away from them. That is what they feel, and that was only simply because of that midnight or 10 p.m. Canadian time glitch that took place. And so hopefully what we're looking for is a better INEC process this time. And I know the coalitions are going on. People are getting ready. People are trying to band together against our president. But like I have said before, and I keep on repeating it again, they can come together, but they cannot win Ahmed, His Honorable Excellency Ahmed Tinubu is not
Sir,
going to be.
sir,
He will finish his 8 years. And that's my own personal opinion. And I stand by it all the way through.
can I just speak to the ADC, the new development?
Mm-hmm.
The problem, and I think there was a professor on the rise this morning. He just analysed it there straight and forward. Who are the so-called coalition? They're not a coalition of new people. They're just regurgitating the same old faces. And what do they?
Recycled.
What is the common currency of them? Their hatred for Tinubu. Aregbesola is supposedly his relative from Oshun. He's got bad blood, so that's why he's there. Amechi, he's another one. He wanted to be president. He didn't get the ticket. He's got bad blood. What can he deliver? Aregbesola didn't deliver Oshun, so he's not going to do anything for ADC. Amechi couldn't deliver Rivers. He's of no consequence. Rufai didn't deliver Kaduna. He's going to bring zero to this whole thing. David Mark too. He's a failure. Where in Benue, he didn't deliver that either. So you can go on and on and on. Atiku lost the election. You understand? So all these failures are coming together to try to create victory. You understand? I'm just saying to you that already, you know what they're calling you guys? They're calling you an alliance of defeated contenders, or an alliance of defeated coalition. So the coalition's already defeated already. So we'll wait and see.
Okay, listen, my own final analysis onto this is this. The only individual that I know that cost 2023 election, the way he came out, was nobody but the PDP leader. It's very unfortunate, but he cost it, and I believe that if he continues in the same vein, it will be the same thing this time, because there is no, they can collide, they can come together, they can do whatever they want to do, but until they begin to recognize the importance of each individual from each zone and how to be able to come together in a very wise way, to make an impact, it's still going to be the same thing, because all you're going to see is when the time comes again, they're going to start fighting with each other, and then Tinubu will still stand at the end of the day. So it's a game changer for us when it comes to this political era. It's a game changer.
But can I say this one also? I think that this coalition forming is good for our politics. What I mean by that is, you can't have a one-party state, a one-party arrangement in Nigeria. So if some people see it fit to come together and want to stand against the powers, the political power that is present there, I think it's a good one for our politics. I'm not looking at the individuals now. Yes, the individuals all have their shortcomings, but that idea of coming together and say, let's stand as an opposition to this party is good for our politics. Nigerian politics
on the
has not
surface.
had real strong oppositions. You know, they are
On,
always together. Everybody, they reason alike. They won't do, you know, like, I mean, we've seen all of these politicians jumping board, jumping to APC, all because the other parties probably doesn't even look like what they want. So this is good for our politics. It might not
on
go
the
too
surface.
far. I'm not saying, but the idea of let's something rise up again. Let's go against the powers that are there. It's good for our politics. Yes, that's
On
all
the
I have to say.
surface, on the surface maybe, but even the very root of their coming together is is based uh, on bad blood. If you look at each of their principal officers, you see that it is not a coalition. This is a ganging up of frustrated people coming up against Tinubu, and on that basis, they don't have a good foundation, and it cannot stand.
The final nail in the coffin for me is that this is a coalition of disgruntled northern politicians. Tambawal is there, El Rufai is there, Atiku is there, David Mark is there. You can see it's a northern agenda. Your party has been hijacked for a northern agenda, and you're celebrating that. There will be no return of a power to the north in 2027. I guarantee you that. So if an ADC without Peter Obi as the main ticket is dead on arrival, I can tell you that now.
Dead on arrival. You keep repeating those words. Femi, take note that it's not that your man, it's not that the APC, Tinubu, our president, it's not really like he had the merits to be the president. It was just this whole thing, and that's why the INEC update should have been addressed very well, George, because we can't have another election series if Yakubu is still the INEC chairman. I mean, we'll be deceiving ourselves. We're talking of real chunk of money, chunk of billions of our taxpayers' money, our shared wealth, and we put it into one man's hand, and he just plays with it and gives us what he and some cabals feel should lead. Then why take us to the polls? Why make us go to vote if you have a selected individual
Mark,
already? So yes,
you are being very, very, very emotional. You are being very, very emotional. INEC does not depend on the chairman alone. There is a whole lot of people who are there. And if you look at the last election results very well, and you are unemotionally unconcerned, you will know that there was no way that your candidate, Peter Obi, could have won the election. There was no way. And there was also no way that Atiku could have won the election. And you can see that even the votes were split among the three candidates. They are split among the three candidates. The candidate who had the best spread happened to be Tinubu. It happens to be Tinubu. All the other candidates had
the point. Listen to this. Listen, fellas. Stop all this. Whatever we're discussing about all this. What happens within is different from what is happening outside. Allow me, please. Allow me. Thank you. So what happens within is quite different from what happens outside. What happens within is what counts, and that is whatever they did at that moment, whether it was real or not, whether the votes were counted or not, it doesn't matter. The point is, Tinubu won the election, they went to court, they lost, and today he is the president. How that happened, believe me, it's not you and I cannot stand over here and swear that nothing happened within. We know how Nigerian election happens. People become enemies simply because of this. Like I said before, Tinubu became the president because Tinubu understand the inside scope. He got inside information. He was able to do what he had to do to be the president, and he will do it again in 2027 until 2031. So that's all the end. But if you want to come over here and want to stand and start talking all this whatever nonsense, it doesn't matter, because none of you can tell us what happened within. Neither can I. But we suspect that because we know how Nigerian politics works. So let's leave it alone and go to another subject, please. Thank you.
You think you know?
Oh, I know. Believe me.
Okay.
Been there, done that.
know.
Oh, from
You
inside.
know.
Oh, yes, I
You
do.
know.
Oh,
You know. Okay.
100%.
Mark, can we move on?
100%.
Mark,
can you please?
Yes,
it's
yes,
not
I
having
can
a
hear you.
yes, I again.
can hear you.
Okay. Can we move on?
Go ahead, George.
Yeah, so
George,
anyway, hey, listen. So what we have right here,
go ahead.
yeah, we still have the Sulija Mina Road emergency, where the federal government declares a state of emergency on the deteriorated Sulija Mina Road. So this is another subject that we want to discuss. Original contractor Salini Nigerian Limited failed to deliver despite repeated warnings. So contracts, terminated. EFCC may be involved to recover the old funds. Okay. Minister David Umahi condemns lobbying to retain, Salini as wickedness. Road poor conditions stretches 1.5-hour journey to over 7 hours. So this is part of the problem that we have been having in Nigeria. When contracts are given, there are no checks and balances. People will go and do a deplorable and despicable job and then pocket all the money. So now we're seeing something happening once again. So what we're seeing is the new contractors engaged, including CCECC, to begin urgent work. Tinubu intervened directly after alarm from Niger State Governor. So this is something that we want to, just discuss a little bit. Maybe somebody, Olayinka Raji, you're in Nigeria. Can you tell us a little bit about this if you have any information on that?
Well, there are so many other roads that need emergency attention. So if they have started with Suleja Mina Road, that's good. The other day I heard about the government taking charge of the Lagos Ibadan Ilesha Road, which was now in a very, very deplorable situation. Those are all, and there are so many other roads across the country. Recently, there was that Mokwa bridge collapse. There are so many, but the government emphasis now is on the 700-kilometer Lagos Calabar coastal highway. So it's all a matter of.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yes, I was going to say that it's important we talk about this, Femi. I mean, we can't have the federal government. Yes, we can't have the federal government talking about calling an emergency and terminating such massive road project, and we're still going into the coastal highway where old highways are not being maintained. They have not been completed. So is this not waste of funds, waste of time and resources? I don't know. This is how I see it, because that terminating that Suleja Mina Road, I know that road very well. That's a very, very important road. It links two major cities, and it also helps bring goods from the south, central Suleja axis to Mina, Niger State. So if we have this kind of situation, how will this other new road, how will it fare? How will it end if this is happening to this road? These are some issues to look into.
Right. Do you want me to answer your question? You see, I really am fed up of lamentation politics and the idea that in 2 years you're going to fix the rot of infrastructure deficit that has been on ground for decades. I came into Nigeria in 1981 to 84. The infrastructure was decrepit. All right. Though some people are living a fantasy where they said that in the 80s the roads were good. The 80s the roads were crap, and they still are crap. And you know the reason why? Because as the population keeps on increasing, the amount that you need to do the work continues to expand. The number of roads that you need keeps on expanding. You can't stay on existing infrastructure and think, oh, only if we fix the existing ones, then we're going to be perfect. You're never going to be able to fix the existing ones anyway in your term. And you have to continue to project and plan for future expansion. Otherwise, you stay in the state where you're in. So as you're moving forward, you continue to maintain. And the other thing is we have to move. If you go to countries like Italy, I've been to Italy. If you go to France, if you go to other countries, Brazil, Spain, you have tolls on the road, America. Until we move to that level of understanding that, look, you know what? Government, the problem in Nigeria, and I think the tax bill, and maybe we can talk about that, is going to be the godsend for Nigeria in the long run. It is another reform that the president is doing that hasn't been done for decades, that is being done now. You may hate Tinubu or whatever, but in the long run, all these hard, painful decisions that he's making are going to be a plus for the economy. The problem with Nigeria is revenue is insufficient to match the infrastructure deficit. There's a mismatch. It's on record that it says that in order to fix our infrastructure deficit, we need to spend $100 billion per year for the next 10 years. That's just to keep on an even keel. Our budget for the whole federation is less than $40 billion. So that may show you exactly what we're talking about. So when people say there's money, they're just not telling the truth to themselves. The gap between what we need and what we have is massive. So government is always robbing Peter to pay Paul. Now, if you watch David Umahi, let me finish. Okay. David Umahi announced all the road projects that he was doing, which cut across all the 6 political zones. There's numerous roads apart from the Lagos Calabar road. So they're ongoing, and this is a work in progress. It's never going to stop. Whoever comes in will have the same situation. And also, we must also remember as well that state governments are also responsible for roads. It's not exclusive to the federal government. So there's so much that needs to be done here. And until we ramp up our economy to $1 trillion economy and build and increase government revenues to such a massive level that it can use the money to do these roads, and people don't want government to borrow. Meanwhile, without borrowing, it can't do these projects. So you see, we're in a catch-22 situation. Any government that comes in will be faced with the same conundrum. It's not rocket science.
But anyway, listen to this. Listen to this. Contractors are given 10 days to mobilize or risk cancellation. Road that is vital for mobility, trade, and agriculture in the region. This move that they are making reflects on federal government commitment to accountability and infrastructure renewal. Now, yes, they are making a move. But one thing that we need to understand also is we've lost it when it comes to maintenance culture, whereby we can maintain what we have already had while we're doing the new ones. So we have to collaborate, bring it together. While we're doing the, Lagos Calabar road, we can also, like what he just said, there are so many roads that are in the 6 regional areas where, projects are going on. But not only that, yes, there are designated federal roads and there are designated state roads, and these are things that the states know about and the federal government knows about. So these are where we can bring balance to both sides to make sure while the new roads are going, let's try to maintain the old ones so that at least the mobility and logistics when it comes to business will continue to increase.
We'll continue to go.
So,
Nice.
Just a moment, please.
All
I
right,
think
Raj.
we need to go back to brass tacks. You know, sometimes the contracts are awarded to political members, and therefore they do not do the right job. Sometimes also we have to do what we call the life cycle of that road. How if you build a road that is supposed to last for 10 years and start deteriorating in 2 years, the contractor should be held responsible. The contractor should be held responsible for the period of the life of their road. And therefore, if we can bring out this quality assurance, I think we won't have to generate $100 billion for any infrastructure. Let us be sure that even as you are building the roads, we make sure that the roads can last for at least 10 years. And during the lifetime of that road, the contractor will be responsible for that road. That's all. About tolls, I've always believed that there's no way the government will build a road like Lagos-Ibadan Expressway and not put tolls on it. Same as Lagos-Lekki axis and not put tolls on it. It is that toll that will be used to maintain those roads. There were tolls on Lagos-Ibadan Express Road before. There were tolls until Obasanjo came in, and instead of making it well, he now decided to use precious money to dismantle all the toll gates, billions of naira to remove all the toll gates.
Okay,
Giving contracts
gentlemen.
to party members.
Yes, good one. We're putting it well. And let me say this to you, gentlemen. Most times you don't know who's listening. The other day, some senators called and said they are listening to you. So whatever we say here also could be eye-opening tips to the politicians and to those that needs some advice. Femi is giving us one on his corner. Raji is also saying his. Gentlemen, let's go on a small break. George, thank you. Thank you. Let's do this small break. We'll be back just 2 minutes. Let's have coffee, take some water, refresh yourself.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerian soul are proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
In aviation, this is the London Gatwick Airport. Over 30 million people fly through its single runway annually, and it's owned by a Nigerian. In robotics, this is Apple's Mechamon, world first gaming robot sold exclusively by Apple. It was made by a Nigerian, Silas Adekunle. In leadership, the first African to lead the World Trade Organization as Director General, she's Nigerian. Africa's richest man and business tycoon, Aliko Dangote, is Nigerian. In sports, Victor Osimhen, the highest goal scoring African in Series A, and is currently leading the most goals scored by an African in a single season. He's a Niger boy. A two-time former unified world heavyweight champion, Anthony Oluwafemi Joshua. He's a Nigerian. In music, Rema holds the record for the most streams on Spotify by an African artist. He's Nigerian. In medicine, Dr. Oluyinka, he did an unquote impossible operation. He's Nigerian. In tech, Africa's most valuable fintech organization, Flutterwave, has an evaluation of over $3 billion and was founded by, of course, a Nigerian. In food, Hilda Basi of Nigeria holds the Guinness World Record for the longest cooking time, 93 hours, 11 minutes. She's Nigerian. Let's make sure the narrative that comes out of a country is the best. The bad should not overwhelm the storytelling of the good, so it's our responsibility to shape and carry.
Here are 3 things that I absolutely loved about Nigeria. Number 1, I fit in. I fit in. Melanin, caramel, chocolate, mocha, whatever you may call it, I fit in, baby. I felt at home. I didn't feel out of place. I didn't feel like anybody was staring at me. Nobody was looking at me strange when I walked around in the stores. I mean, everybody was minding their own business. Number 2, the people. I mean, Nigerians are a vibe. The diverse culture, the different tribes, the different religions, the people are a vibe. Okay? Whatever it is that you're looking for, they got it in Nigeria. Okay? And they see you. They see you. They notice you. There's a sense of community. People care. Yes. And of course, you might be woken up at 2 in the morning because there's church going on a loudspeaker, but hey, nothing wrong with a little godliness. Okay? Relax. Number 3, I love that Nigerians are resilient. They are resilient, very ambitious and resilient people. They don't depend on the government for anything. They will figure out how they can take care of themselves. They see their systems. They know it's messed up. And guess what? They still thrive and they still figure out a way to make it work. So shout out to all my Nigerians. You are nothing but queens and kings in my eyes. If you're an LDR couple and you're not yet...
SSM's Wednesday Global Africa program brings to you our news stories, exclusive reporting, and SSM perspectives on the day's top news. Plus, the inside scoop on Africa's most important developing stories. Join us on Wednesdays, 11 a.m. West African time.
Yes, gentlemen, you're welcome back, viewers. You're welcome back, Femi, Raji, George. Guys, let's leave Nigeria for a while and talk about Ghana. Ghana, that beautiful West African country, is at loggerhead with China now over what they call rampant illegal mining. Raji, we all hear about that word galamsey. Galamsey. It's a terminology they've formed now. So, but anyway, Ghana, like we all know, is Africa's largest gold producer, but a lot of diplomatic issues surrounding that whole gold mining, gold production. Tell us, Raji, let's start with you. What's going on with...
There has been very, very unchecked, unbridled access, unbridled gold mining by individuals, by corporations, by people in politics who are bringing all manner of people into the country to mine gold. It is unchecked, it is unbridled. Almost every river in the south of Ghana is now looking muddy because a lot of the gold mining activities are taken around those riverine areas, so that they wash all those things into the river, and the waters have become undrinkable. You will see some rivers that used to be very, very pristine, very, very clear. They are now so muddy that you can't even wash your hands in them because they have become so. But it's because of the involvement of people in politics, the political figures who have brought in all manner of Chinese. You know, the Chinese, there are 1 point something billion of them. They are all over the place. Chinese, Indians, but mainly Chinese who are involved in this unchecked gold mining. People have been complaining about it for the past 8 years. Hopefully, the new government will do something about it, because the old political forces who are in charge of all this unchecked mining are now out of office. Maybe the new government will. It's the same thing in Nigeria, so don't think it is Ghana.
I was thinking about the same thing right now. We see a lot of illegal mining in Nigeria. Do you know that we also have a lot of gold that can actually match what they have in Ghana? In the north, they do.
Okay, yes. Let's see this clip. Let's see this clip, George. Confirming what Raji is telling us. Viewers, we're talking about Ghana. We're talking about galamsey. Galamsey is the word used on illegal gold mining. Let's see this clip. We'll be back. So what you're seeing, viewers, what you're seeing there is some Chinese that have been arrested for galamsey. So, and the Ghana security officers don't play. They don't play. When they are out to do their job, they do it with all fervency. George, tell us. You were going to say something. Galam
No,
say.
you see, there are so many infiltration that is taking place. Okay, look at the water. Look at how bad this is. But also, because of this illegal mining, Ghana has lost an estimated 11.4 billion in undeclared gold exports. So they do this illegally, and they through the back door they ship all this gold out. And in 2025, Ghana, Gold Board Act bans foreigners from gold trading. And this is something that needs to be controlled, because you see a lot of these illegal miners come in and they use our youths, our little ones. Some of them are dying in these areas because they are not actually using all the technology that is needed and all the security infrastructure to make sure that lives are saved, and they're using all these little ones to do all these illegal things. So I believe that what Ghana is doing, they need to actually go a little further to make sure that that this is not just something where they're going to do it for a minute and then go back to the norm again, which is the norm of illegal mining. So look at all of this. Okay, so when they wash all these things into the water, what happens to our cooking? What happens to our bodies when we want to wash our body and drinking water and all those type of things? So it's very, very important that these things are we go to the root cause of it and stop it, address it seriously.
Yes.
Because we are losing our children. And you know what happened? There are no statistical analysis of the number of people that are being killed. Because a mother will just go and bury their child and cry, and that will be it. They are not counted as numbers anymore. Where they can say, okay, this is the number of people that are dying. So we really need to go to the root cause and stop this nonsense. Honestly.
Thank you, George. Femi, I don't know if you're following Galam say. One thing again is the women. A lot of women come into this field and die. They get polluted. They get disease, and so many stories. Femi, what do you know about Galam say?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's a good thing that they're trying. The thing is that the environment in Ghana is being polluted on a massive level. They use mercury to wash the chemicals so that the gold can come up, and then the mercury goes into the water, and then it poisons and pollutes and kills. So it kills humans and animals. So like Raji said, the fishes will die. The ecosystem is dying. They destroy trees. They make big potholes of excavations, and they destroy the landscape. Now, this is not exclusive to Ghana. It's happening in all of Africa, the Democratic Republic of Congo. A lot of wars are fought because of that. What's happening in Mali is also because of gold. What happens in Niger because of gold and other minerals. So it's happening everywhere. But the thing is that in Nigeria, they've arrested Chinese people similarly and have been put on trial, but we don't celebrate that because it's Nigeria. We only celebrate bad news. So that happens in Nigeria too. And it's on record and it's been recorded. And also, you have to give it to the new setup now that they've put in place what they call mining marshals. So the new Minister of Minerals is doing quite a lot. They're mining marshals now that are beginning to make sure that people have licenses, and it's a slow process. It's happening now. They are now also having they're also having forest marshals as well. This wasn't happening before. And I say that before the end of this Tinubu first term, we're likely to have also state police. So all these things are going to be happening, and the haters will continue hating, but the government continues to do what is necessary. So when you say you want reforms, these reforms are happening, but people refuse to see them. But over time, the legacy will be there that these things have happened to make things happen. And a lot of states now can get mining licenses. I think Kogi State the other day, they got 15 mining licenses. They're mining lithium in Zamfara and Nasarawa and even Kaduna. And one of the biggest, Chinese are building a new lithium processing factories and a battery factory in Ogun State. So these are all good things that are happening, but I just don't know how Nigerians expect that to happen quickly in 2 years or in 4 years. It's all going to happen. It takes time. for
We
all these
actually
things
wanted
to happen.
we actually wanted Tesla, Elon Musk's
Yeah,
company,
but no,
to
but
come
the reason why they didn't
in
go for Elon
Nigeria.
Musk wanted to just mine the lithium and take it out. He
Yes,
wasn't
yes.
prepared to do any processing. So
Hmm.
that's why the then minister refused. But
Hmm.
now we've got the Chinese and other people have come in and said that, you know what, we're going to process locally. In fact, it serves them well if it's processed locally. They'll buy all the exports anyway. The Chinese are controlling much of the world's lithium market anyway. So it suits them to it will create more jobs. It will give more industry and more technology to the local community, and a multiplier effect will be soon. Nigeria will not just have CNG, we'll also be doing lithium and electric cars. That will be happening in Nigeria very soon.
Hopefully,
Already there are already electric
hopefully.
cars and electric motorcycles already. So you know, once we can now get the lithium, and then we're not making the batteries locally, it'll be like our petrol. We got petrol, and now we're refining petrol. So that's where we're moving. But these
That's
things
so.
take time. It's not going to happen overnight. So anyone thinking that from production to consumption to production is going to happen in 24 hours, it's not. It takes time and it takes processes, and you have to be strategic, and you have to stay the course. So any idea of we're going to return back and bring back subsidies and all this nonsense, it's not going to happen. Any party, and if your party, ADC, puts on the ballot, on the manifesto, that they're going to reverse subsidies or they're going to control the Naira, then I can see they're not going to win. Let's put it that way. Anyway, they can't do that anyway because they know those are policies that they want anyway.
Okay. All right, viewers. Yes, we're talking
I think
about Galamsey. We're talking about
yeah.
Ghana and what the government is doing to stop this whole the rampant illegal mining going on. Yes, Raji, you wanted to add something to that?
Yes,
Yeah.
I would just to add that there was a case of a whole village in Ghana which was collapsing because under the village, people have dug inside the village, inside the house to look for gold, and there are now so many holes under the village that you should be careful on the street you are passing, otherwise you cave in. That much widespread, yes.
That's how bad it is.
Yes,
Terrible. All right, guys. Let's look into yesterday. There was a protest going on in River State. River State is still hot, still not settled. Now, this time, the Ijo youths were out on the protest, and they were saying because one of the conditions, Femi, one of the conditions to have Fubara back in office is he's going to do just a term. He mustn't run a second term. Now the youths, the job people, the community, the people, and everybody says no. If he has that opportunity and if he's elected again, why should he be subjected to just a term? So let's talk about this, Femi and George. What do you guys think? Do you have to mobile somebody into a condition because you want him to be enough? You want him to run?
Fubara has a choice. He can either accept the conditions or he can reject them. This is really up to him. He doesn't have to be backed governor. He can sit down and be, lamenting with the rest of those people. All those people that were lamenting and making noise, where are they now? Where are they now? They're nowhere. They were the ones that pushed Fubara to the edge to make the disaster that they created. And now none of them are there to pick up the pieces for him. Fubara knows what is good for him, and he'll do what is right for him. At the end of the day, he's a politician, like all the politicians. They're all in it for their own selfish interest anyway. Now, for me, Nigerian politicians, or politicians, tricksters, if you like. They never stick. They never stick to their gentleman's agreement anyway. So he can as well say, yes, I agree that I will only do one term, and then when it comes down to it, he can decide, you know what, I want to recontest, and he doesn't have to recontest on the APC or on the PDP. He can go to ADC or any other party for that matter and run. You understand? And then we'll know whether the people are behind him, like they're saying, or whether not 419. We will know. Yeah, Fubara on his own, he can't do nothing. But let's wait and see.
Well, it's very unfortunate that we have really come to this point where, it's almost like an authoritarian type of government, which is, unconstitutional. The point about it is this, like what Femi was saying, they all know each other. They have their back door deals that they do, which is not really most of the time. It doesn't come out in the public. Every now and again, a little bit of that will come out and we'll start arguing about this. Listen, if Ubara is in agreement with 4 years, let him go and finish his 4 years. Because these are the godfathers who can actually pick him up and put him somewhere else. Fubara don't have to end up as a governor in his state. They can bring him to the federal government. They can bring him as a senator. They can bring him, any other. So as long as he is a game player with the godfathers, his tomorrow is still going to be very bright. So the point about it is this: when it comes to the local politics and the way we play it, you gotta be, you have to be somebody who is playing the game the way it's supposed to be played. There is public game and there are private games, and that's what it is. So let him be reinstalled. Let him finish his 4 years, and they can take him to the federal government or make him an ambassador somewhere, and his career will continue to. Yeah, it is true.
Ambassador to Ghana or Italy.
I agree with both George and Femi. Just that I want to tell Femi calling these politicians gentlemen. There's no gentleman in politics.
I said they're politricksters. I said they're politricksters, not gentlemen.
No, he said gentleman agreement.
Yes, they're not going to stick to that.
Well, it's just an agreement, and they can renege on it as it is.
Yes, I agree.
So, yes. So it's up to Fubara whether to accept or not. And he can accept and then something else.
So far he's seen that the power that be politically is strong. Either play along or step out of the way. Simple.
Too strong.
My Godwin, that's why I told you. You just heard it from George there. The power that be in rivers is too strong. So where is Amechi in this calculation? Siam.
George knows how to put it well, and he did that well. Now, guys, our troops are doing well. I like Femi says. Femi, we like your Sorosoke and the idea of really portraying Nigeria in a positive light. We want to do more of that, mostly those of us out here in the diaspora. But you see, most times we don't get those good news. That's one thing. So, but anyway, when we see one, we run it with you like we normally do. The Nigerian troops are doing well. Let's applaud the troops. Yesterday, the troops were able to get hold of some suppliers of arms and vehicles in this whole terrorist Boko Haram situation. So I think it's something to mention.
Yeah, it's something to mention actually, because as much as people don't like good news, they like bad news, and it spreads so quickly. What we are seeing, there's been a lot of highlights in operations. Troops across Nigeria recorded major wins against terrorists, bandits, and criminals. In Borno State, troops recovered 1,600 plus rounds of ammunition, RPG bombs, and ISWAP jazz routes. That's one. 3 terrorists neutralized in Mbama local government. Logistics supplies for terrorists seized in Monguno. In Kaduna, an AK-47 rifle and ammo recovered after an armed clash. Zamfara troops neutralized a terrorist kingpin, Maidada, during a counterattack. In Edo, one suspect arrested with pump-action gun cutlasses. Plateau, offensives OPS in mountain Boko's local government led to arms recovery with drone support. So these people are just kind of moving. Benue, 5 kidnapped passengers rescued after troops confronted abductors. Can you imagine that? Bayelsa, 2 suspects are arrested with locally made pistols and 9mm ammo. Army vows to stay resolute in dismantling criminal network nationwide. They are doing great, and we need to applaud them. We really need
Good.
to. You know,
Good.
if they continue like this, before
Raji,
you know it,
Yeah.
all of
Raji,
these
you
badges
you
will
don't
run
look
out.
impressed. Raji, you don't look impressed. I mean, Raji, tell us you don't look like, I
Not,
mean,
Raji
tell
needs
It
us,
some
has,
Raji,
power.
it has,
why
Raji,
don't you
it
look
has been
Raji,
impressed?
said.
Huh?
It
You
has
don't
been
look
said.
impressed.
It has been said repeatedly that
Uh-huh.
insurgency can uh, flourish.
Flourish
Yes,
without the government knowing
or
about it, Abi.
cannot flourish without government involvement. So now
Right.
that we are making some inroads into uh, terminating these terrorist activities, it seems as if those in government who have hands in it before are now withdrawing their hands, or their hands have been cut. Therefore, it's good, yes, that we are making progress in that area.
no, I
Okay.
mean, seriously though, seriously, when you really think about this present government, there are so many improvements in different areas. What we needed, what we were talking about, it was overnight miracle, overnight magic, you know, to change the conversation overnight. Oh, we suffered for 40 years, therefore, you know, in 24 hours, let's change the narratives and let's change the conversation. It doesn't work that way. It takes time. But what we're seeing,
No,
and
but
it's an
George,
improvement. There
yes,
are
it
so
takes
many,
time.
still so many things that
Hmm.
needs to be done. So
Yes,
many needs to be done, but there
but you
has
know
been
why?
some improvements.
Yeah, you know why you won't blame the citizens? Because every government that comes tells us blah blah blah. Let's subsidize. Let's do this. Don't worry, it takes time. Please be patient. And this has been happening. We've never even enjoyed the dividends of those past government that have said, let's subsidize, let's wait, let's be patient, let's take time, da da da. You know, and they keep telling us everyone new one will come and say it's not it's a process. It takes time. That I mean, when
We are we are we are
I'm
seeing
in my
we
I'm
are
in my
seeing
mid
changes now.
50s
We are
now.
seeing changes
We are
now.
seeing changes. We are
Can
Yes,
I
seeing
just say? Can I
initially,
changes.
say?
initially, when
Okay.
government when Tinubu came in, some things, I've always said that, you see, there can't be any healing in the waters if the waters are still. There have to be
Okay.
troubled waters before we can start getting healing. And when he came in, the first troubling he put into the waters was the subsidy removal. People that are now adjusted to it, and things are becoming to look better. Uh, I think that there was a turning point when Tinubu had to go to Benue after the 200 people were killed, and he asked whether there have been no arrests. At that point, I felt that since June 12, actually, I felt that our president have come to a certain point where he's now going to be what we thought he would be. And I'm happy that there have been some changes. June just finished, and there have been some changes.
Can
I
I
think
can I
I
can
think
I can
yeah.
I can I can I can
I
I
haven't had
can I say
my two
something?
cents.
Can I say
Okay.
something? You see, have you noticed recently how articulate and verbally articulate our president has become? I believe that somebody was suggesting before that Tinubu was, faking that he was not so strong, so that these people will put him there to eliminate him, so that somebody from the north will take over. But now, all of a sudden, this man has become. I mean, I'm talking about he talks strong. He is so powerful. I mean, when I'm watching him, my whole body kind of, I get energy from even Tinubu right now. I don't know if any one of you have noticed that.
Uh,
Because am I the only one that observed it? Please.
No,
no,
that's true. That's true. Yes,
can I?
Femi wanted to say
Yeah.
something.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead,
so
Femi.
on security, we must give kudos to the men in uniform
Yes.
all over. They're dying for fellow Nigerians, and I find it most disturbing when our media politicizes security. They politicize security for their own nefarious political agenda, not because they have the interest of Nigerians at heart. And I think that is so sad. Instead of always talking and condemning government actions, they should be, as we're doing today, celebrating the efforts of Nigerian soldiers who are dying on a daily basis to keep you and I safe. We cannot have eyes on the ground in every inch of the Nigerian territory. It's over 1 million square. I mean, I don't know how many hectares it is, but it's over 1 million. You cannot, and the number of soldiers that we have is not enough, or men in uniform, to be everywhere at every time. So, but with what they have, they're doing a yeoman's job, and we must give them kudos and respect them and thank for them. In the Southeast, when President Buhari was there, I don't think a week went by where we didn't hear about kidnappings and killings and beheadings in the Southeast. Unknown gunmen, IPOB, ESN, Biafra National Guard, and whatnot. That place is relatively peaceful now. That's not to say people are not staying at home or all that thing. Things have changed. The narrative has changed largely in the Southeast. Okay, so if that is not a plus, I don't know what is. In Kaduna State, in southern Kaduna, Birengeri, I can't remember how to pronounce that word, but that was a chaos. It was complete chaos. But now El Rufai is not there. Another one of your stooges in the ADC. There's peace and tranquility in Kaduna State. So I don't see how these people that you're holding on to, that the savior for Nigeria, and create chaos and mayhem when they were in government, and now things are changing and you're hating it because I don't know why. I find that a lot of media just want to hype negative news. They don't want to celebrate good news. And that is a problem for me. That is a problem. Any Nigerian media house that thinks that they're doing Nigerians a service by portraying negative news every day is so sad.
Bad news
the other issue that I wanted to was the last thing that George was saying about the president. Now, I always knew that media hype of that Tinubu was senile, demented, a cripple. I knew that was fake from day one. That was AI. A lot of it was AI generated, and a lot of it was political mischief. That's not to say that he didn't have some mishaps where he might have fell down or whatever, and maybe he was not in great health at some points. He's been going to France God knows how many times. But clearly, like Buhari before him, you can see his health is improving. And the thing I like about Tinubu is that he has the gift of the gab. He's a proper politician. He will say it as it is. He's not going to sugarcoat it and mess around with words. Subsidies is gone was one of those. You might not like it, but he was just telling you the truth. Buhari didn't want to tell you when he was there, and he did so, not because he didn't want to tell you, but because of political expediency. He wanted APC to win the elections, so he didn't need to hype that point up. And the other politicians kept quiet about it because they too didn't want to be saddled with that burden. So that's just a fact. But the media are portraying it in a different light, as if to say they didn't know as well. That's a lie. Now, the other thing is that look at when he talked about agriculture. 1,000 tractors are coming in, and he said to the Nigerians, I want to make agriculture sexy. You understand? So our president knows the sound bites, the words to use at the appropriate time, and the tactics to do, and he's very strategic. So at the end of the day, 2027 is looming. Unless these people are doing any, I don't see no strategy from Atiku. I don't see any strategy from Obi, and I don't see any strategy elsewhere. All they're doing is lamenting and saying Tinubu is useless, Tinubu is useless. That's not going to win the election for them.
Femi has blown the whole place up. Gentlemen, we have to go. It's sounding like much fun, you know. It's looking very interesting now, but we have to go. Let's come on Friday. There is something about, I don't know if you guys know about the Dalai Lama, that spiritual head in
Tibet.
Yeah. So he's the one there now is 90 years. He has to leave for a new a successor, somebody to take his place. So let's talk about that. The Tibet thing will be happening today and tomorrow. So we'll be looking at who becomes the new Dalai Lama. But before then, I want to thank you guys. George, thank you for standing in for me when the network was failing. Raji, thank you. And the hot man Femi Sorosoke.
Just one thing. Remember, Elon Musk may be deported back to South Africa. That's very interesting for Africa. That's the news you should have mentioned.
Yeah, Friday. Come, let's talk about it on Friday. That might be an interesting one to talk about. So, guys, let's go. Also, remember this, viewers. Our network is becoming one of the choice network for some senators, some politicians that want to run in 2027. So stay tuned for some engagements. Femi, we'll need you to also be coming around. George and Raji,
And Femi, you
Yeah.
need to share some of these your guys that are your interviewing, bring them to this network,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay,
then
will do.
let them come with the moolah too, because we need money for to improve our
I know they
technology.
collect issue. I know they collect
You know they
issue.
collect. Femi know they collect.
No,
All right,
forget
guys.
about that. There are
Thank
back
you.
ways of getting money too.
Yeah, man.
All
Thank you,
right.
guys. Have
Okay.
a beautiful week.
By the way, happy Canada Day. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Canada was
Well done.
celebrated. We celebrated our Independence Day
years?
yesterday.
How many years independence?
158 and
Yeah.
standing strong.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
But we
I
saw
hope
the
Nigeria
ugly
can be
side of
good
it.
like that when we're 158.
Yeah, we saw the other side of it where the gays and the LGBT people were scattering everywhere. George, you tell us more on that on Friday.
On Friday, yes.
Yes.
But in the
All right, then.
meantime, stay tuned
Bye-bye.
and have a blessed
All
week.
right.
Thank you.